Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time to review a new show. So this is Power Book 3. Child, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 1, Episode 1, and it was titled Back in the Day. Alright, so I will be reviewing this episode every Sunday. I'm dropping this early because it was on Starz app. It drops midnight, so I'm dropping it early because I have some things to do today and I wanted to get this recap review out of the way. But before I jump into the recap review, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit me with that thumbs up button along with the share button. All right, y'all. So this episode was really good. So because I watched Power Book 2 and I enjoyed it, yeah, I was kind of shocked that I enjoyed it, but it got good. Like the beginning, like the first 5 episodes of Power Book 2 was kind of like, but the last 5 was like, okay. And I had Love Monet, so and Kane, even though Kane be getting on my nerves, child, but so I was like, all right, I'm going to watch book 3 and see what it's giving. So it was giving a lot. I loved it. I loved the mom. I loved all the actors and actresses in it. It was really good. So it kept me interested to see what was going to happen next or whatever like that. So here we are. So anyway, let's jump into it. So basically, it's about Kanan and showing how he grew up. 50 Cent is doing the narration, or Kanan, I should say, is doing the narration and just kind of giving us like a little overview and telling us who is who in the episode or whatever like that. So it starts out in 1985 in Baisley Pine Park. Child, they got the old music, the old hairstyles. I remember them hairstyles with the little curls up the top and then the little, what was it like? It was a black mullet because it was like curls up the top and then the hair in the back with them tight curls in the back, child. The people walking around with the boom boxes on their shoulder and stuff like that. So that's what it is. It's boom boxes, it's basketball, it's everything. So we see this fight. So Kanan is saying, like, y'all saw how my first fight ended. This is how my first fight started. So Kanan getting his ass beat. He getting beat up. These 2 boys is beating him up. There's a couple people was holding this one girl back. And she was like, let him go, let him go. And so they was like, be quiet, Jukebox or whatever like that. We find out later that Jukebox is his cousin. And she good with them hands. That's why they was holding her back. So Kanan getting his ass beat, but he keep getting up and then going to the dudes. And they like, bow. The last hit dropped him on their eyelid. I was like, is he finna have a seizure? Like, what's finna happen with him? But the dude getting his face like, give up the money when I tell you to, or whatever like that. So then they all walk away and start laughing and stuff like that. Jukebox go over there. She start helping them. Everybody laughing at him and all this other stuff. Child, he popped up off that ground so fast and started running. He ran all the way home, child. I said, Lord have mercy. So then we see this lady and this guy. So the lady is Raquel, his mom, Kanan's mom, and the boyfriend, Post, I think it was. They was counting up money. So Kanan ends up telling us that Post was a good dude and stuff like that, but he ended up getting killed a year later because he was snitching or something like that. So the mom come upstairs because Post like, he up there, he doing, go check on him. So the mom come upstairs, she like, what you crying for? He was like, they jumped me, they took my money. Why you had your money showing or nothing like that? He was like, I ain't had my money showing. Well, you was talking then. You was talking. So then the whole time she talking to him, she getting a sock. So she getting a sock, she putting some stuff in the sock or whatever like that. She like, get up. And she was like, well, where was Jukebox? So she was like, they was holding Jukebox back. She was like, all right, get up. We going back to that park. So then she hops in the Corvette with him in there. They get to the park and stuff like that. He's slow walking. Because he don't want to go back in that park, child. He's slow. She like, come on. So then she gave him the sock and was like, either you run up on them or you going to be running from me for the rest of your life or whatever like that. And you can't run far from me or something like that. So get yours. So then he slow walk over there. Then he's standing there for a little bit. He pumping up his courage and stuff. So he go over there and do like So then he like, oh, you beg for more. Whomp with that sock. I said, that's how you get him, okay? That's how you get him. He on the ground, mouth all bloody. The other dude like, oh shit. So then he had to get the sock, whomp, hit him, and then whomp, whomp, whomp. Mama looking like, that's my baby. So we found out they was on the south side, Jamaica, Queens. That's where they lived at. 1991, fast forward, Queens Arts and Science High School. That's the high school Kanan and his friends and all them go to. So he is in the principal's office with his mom and stuff like that, and she is talking to his mom about the school. So the school is going to take smart kids. Kanan is real smart or whatever like that. He good on tests and stuff, and she thinks he can get into this prestigious school downtown and stuff like that. They got pools, they got elevators, they got new flooring, like the school that costs all these millions and millions of dollars and stuff. The mom is excited about this. Kanan really like, no, I ain't with that. Like, I want to stay here or whatever. So the principal was like, well, you got to fill out this paperwork, mom, and stuff like that. So they go out in the hallway. The mom like, yes, this is where you gonna go. You gonna have a good time and stuff. Because as soon as they came out the principal's office, people fighting in the hallways and stuff. She was like, you gonna go to this new school. You gonna get your education, and you gonna be a CEO or something. He was like, but I'm gonna have to take all these mini buses. I don't want to be away from you or whatever. And so she ends up getting paged, and then she left out. But before she left out, she started talking about the constellations and stuff like that, because she said that's where she was real good at, and that's what she liked. And she got paged. She gave him a little kiss, and then she leave or whatever. It's this girl. She's singing in the choir. It's Jukebox. Jukebox got a nice voice, child. So he was like, yeah, you see that girl up there? That's my cousin. She can sing like an angel, whatever like that. But don't let that fool you. She gangster or whatever. So, they go, so I don't know, it was lunchtime next, child. So it was lunchtime. He ends up in the lunch line talking to this cute girl, and she was in something. I don't remember what she was in, but I know I seen her face in something else. He crushing on her. That's his crush, Davina. So he crushing on Davina. They start talking. He say that she a dime and she don't even know she a dime. That's why he really like her, whatever like that. She thinks he's cute and stuff. So, you know, she toying with him a little bit. But she got a whole boyfriend, child. So he at the table with his crew and stuff like that. And this one guy, his real name was Sean. What's his real name? Sean? What was his real? Yeah, his real name was Sean, but they called him Fame because he wrote like this poem and got on the radio when he was younger and stuff like that. He was like, the poem was trash. But he my boy or whatever like that. So we find out he's staring off in the sun, you know, down the lunchroom and stuff, just staring at Davina. And so Jukebox come up and was like, how long you been crushing on her or whatever? He was like, since the second grade. And she was like, and how long she been playing you to the left? He was like, since the first grade. She was like, you need to move on. He was like, I ain't never moving on. I said, boy. So then we see the mama. So we see Raquel. She at the hospital. Somebody that got shot in the leg, child. Her and her youngest brother walking down the hallway. Because we found out from Kanan with the narration, that's Uncle Lulu. So they talking in code. Kanan tell us to mind our business. We don't need to know what the code is. I said, but we need to know so we can know what's popping up. But whatever Kanan said, we need to mind our business, then we need to mind our business. So they go in there. Dude got shot in the leg. Uncle Marvin, he come in there, child, eating. She was like, where was your ass at, nigga? He was like, nigga got hungry. Some shit. Kanan tells us that he loyal, he tough and stuff like that. But he always hungry and whatnot. So they talk about starting a war or a war about to pop off or whatever. Sis is Raquel the queen. So she running everything. Her husband, was they married? Her husband died or got shot up or some ish like that. So he died. And he was the biggest drug dealer in the town or whatever like that. And did I get the name? Because I thought I got the name, but I don't see it written down or because Davina had said what the man's name was, and I ain't write it down. But anyway, he died, and so the business rolled over to her. But then, because Post wasn't his daddy. But Kanan had said Post really put the mama in the game, but then Post had died. So was the daddy the gangster and then turned it over, or it just, I don't know, because they did say the daddy was like the king. Kanan's dad was like the king, the biggest gangster or whatever like that. But then he got killed. But in the beginning, when they was talking about Post, they said that Kanan said that Post put the mama on the game. So maybe she was oblivious to what the husband was doing, or maybe the husband ain't really want her in on it or whatever like that. And then Post had, reeled her in. I don't know. But at any rate, the mama running things, okay? And she got her brothers and some other people underneath her and whatever. So she the queen pin. She telling them what they need to do. Like, look, y'all don't need to be having no war, nothing like that. We don't need that on the streets and stuff. We gonna handle it a different way or whatever. So they all looking like, all right, whatever. We see the kids in like this little pizza shop or whatever like that. Jukebox and Fame, they playing Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Kanan go over to the change machine to get some more quarters for the game. And he looks out the window and he sees this dude, Unique. So he's telling us that that's the biggest drug dealer in the town or whatever like that, on the south side or whatever. And so then we see how he plays the part a little later on. So we see Uncle Lulu and we see the Raquel. They in some club or whatever like that. They looking for this dude named Hugo. Hugo not there. Some snotty little publicist with her little puppy tells them like, he not here. I'm the publicist. I run this or whatever. And yeah, I know who you are. Like, you're the ones who sells that Coke or whatever. That Coke is ghetto shit. Like, we don't need that in here, and you will not be selling that shit up in here. So the mama like, who the fuck this bitch thinks she is or whatever like that. So she was like, I am that bitch. Okay, I am that bitch. So Uncle Lulu like, let me take care of you over here. You go over there. So he's saying Raquel over there. Raquel was just like, this bitch about to get beat up. And the white girl like, she just needs to understand, I am not just some scared ass white girl. Okay, I am that bitch. I said, girl, you finna die. So Raquel go over to the bar. It's this cute guy over there. I don't know what his name was or whatever. It was some long ass name. But Raquel ended up calling him Symphony. And he said that he was going to school and stuff like that, studying urban planning. So she was like, well, I'm urban and I like planning. So she flirting and said she gonna meet up with her later. Uncle Lulu was like, I handle things. It's okay. So every Wednesday they go to this diner. Uncle Lulu, Raquel, Uncle Marvin, the whole family pretty much. They go to this diner every Wednesday for dinner and stuff like that. So they just kind of talking. That's their spot to talk, hang out, catch up on everything. They're just having a good ass time. So I think it was Uncle Lulu who had brought up the school that Kanan was supposed to go to or whatever like that. So Uncle Marvin, who is Jukebox father or whatever, he was like, well, why you ain't get to that school? You smart or whatever like that. She was like, I did get an invite to that school, but you said it wasn't going to do nothing. Like, me being around some snooty white people wasn't going to do nothing for my life. He was like, yeah, that sounds like some shit I would say. But how about you fill it out now? She was like, I'm too old now or whatever. So you could tell a little bit that she was kind of upset that she couldn't go to that school or whatever. So Fame come in with this girl. So Uncle Marvin was like, who you in here with? How much you paying this girl to be walking around with you? Because I know you ain't pulling this by yourself. So he was like, this is my sister, Jessica. And she was up in B-More doing some work or whatever like that. He was like, oh, you just a working girl. So she was like, yeah, working girl. Something like a working girl, but that you can't get or something like that. So they was all like, oh, she schooled you and stuff. And so Raquel told them to sit down, they eat dinner and stuff like that. She over there talking to Uncle Lulu, Jessica. She got her eyes set on Uncle Lulu or whatever like that. So they all outside, they talking cold and stuff. Raquel and Marvin, they talking cold. Uncle Lulu flirting with Jessica. So Fame over there talking to Kanan and was like, look, I don't want your uncle with my sister or whatever like that. Jukebox like, look, you've been trying to get in this family since you was little. This might be your ticket in or whatever like that. Child, boom, boom, a car rolled by, drive by, child. But they shooting in the air. So it was basically like a warning. they ducked down and stuff like that. Uncle Lulu done saved Jessica's life. She like, oh my God, that's the bravest thing a man has ever done for me. He was like, well, you hanging around the wrong men or whatever. Child, you can see it on her face. She was finna do something to that man in the back of the car. But at any rate, they all leave. They disperse because the cops finna pop up. At home, Kanan, like, he get into the grown folks' business and stuff like that. And he like, look, you know who shot at us tonight, Ma. I understand the code. Mom, put me on. Put me in the game. Put me in the game. Raquel, like, no. You don't need to be caught up in this mess, okay? This is not what that was just a message. Like, you don't need to be caught up in this. You need to be taking that test, getting out of here, going to that school, yada, yada, yada. He like, well, I'm trying to protect you, man, Mom. I don't want to, what's going to happen to you when I'm gone. No. What's going to happen to me if something happened to you or whatever like that? And she was like, look, you're going to just live with your grandma. That's why I rented that house out for her so you can go live with your grandma. He was like, I don't want you to die. The little tear rolled down his face and stuff. So, like, the next day, we see Fame, Jukebox, and Kanan. They walking to the bus stop to go to school and stuff like that. Fame ends up saying, because they was talking about last night, and then a cop car rolled by. Fame was like, man, you ain't going to have to worry about this no more. Shoot, he was like, if I was you, I would just put the wrong answers on the test, because I wouldn't want to go to no snooty ass white school or whatever like that. So you can see the wheels turning in Kanan's head. I said, Lord, he about to fail this damn test. We see Raquel, she having a meeting with Unique. So she meeting with him in the park, and you can see like her team over here, you can see his team spread out and stuff like that. And so she was like, look, niggas popping in the air, whatever like that. Like they came around my family with that shit and stuff. He was like, man, they just popping around in the air. They ain't really about to do nothing and stuff. They just did that so we could have this meeting. I said, look at her little lip. So then they started talking business, child. He wanted some corners. She was like, no, those is my corners. You can have they couldn't really agree, but at first she was like, look, my peeps is ready to pop off at any time or whatever like that. And he was like, look, I don't want no problems or nothing like that. So at this point she was winning, because she was like, look, this is how we gonna run things, this is what's gonna happen, yada yada yada. She was like, you could get 140 to 143. So he was like, all right. So he agreed or whatever. So because he took over the business, let me back up. He took over the business because his brother, and I want to say his dad, got locked up. So that's how he got into the family business. And she was like, your brother would have never did no shit like that. He was like, yeah, but now that I'm out here running things, this is how it's going to be or whatever like that. So that's how they was kind of like getting, she was like, look, this is how it should have been handled. He like, well, this is how it's going to be handled because I'm the boss now or whatever. So I was like, child, this is going to be a whole problem in the future. Child, we see the snooty publicist. She getting worked out. Okay, that dude was banging her, bang, bang, bang. But apparently he wasn't banging her too good, because then she started smelling stuff in the house and was like, well, what the hell is that smell? So she popped out the bed. He was like, how you just gonna get up like that? Because it wasn't good, sir. She get up. She goes to the kitchen, child. She called him Bella. So Bella was her little puppy or whatever. That's one of them little fluffy dogs. I don't know what they call it. Is it a no? I'm about to say Parmesan. That's cheese, child. It's a something. What is this? It start with a P, I think. But at any rate, she looking for the dog. Child, the doggy is in the goddamn microwave cooking. I said, oh Lord, they done went too far. You don't cook no puppies? No. That's goddamn single white female boiling, fatal attraction, boiling rabbits and shit. Oh my God. No, they went too far. But anyway, the mama, she dropped Kanan off for the test. So Raquel, she dropping him off. She packed him a little lunch. She all excited. Go on, get it, baby. Go on, get it. He looking all goofy. Oh, okay. And then he going in. He taking the test. He looking around. He had 3 hours to take the test. He looking around. Then he started thinking. Then he was just like, my mom over everything. So then he just started circling B's and stuff. I said, child. And then he goes and hands in the test. So some dude walk up to Raquel. I don't know where she was, child, but he walk up to her talking about some with the dog collar, talking about some. It was handled. I think this was still outside the building where he was taking the test. He was like, it was handled medium well, and then he hands her Bella's dog collar. I said, oh God. So anyway, we see Kanan, he meeting up with his crew. They was like, damn, that test was fast or whatever. He was like, yeah, you know, I aced it. I knew the answers before I sat down. So then Fame ends up telling Kanan, like, these guys are selling on the corner of 140. And so this other young guy, D Wiz, we find out, was like, well, look, I got the burners in the back or whatever like that. You let me know what's going on. So Kanan like, all right, let's do this or whatever. Juke, she at the bus station across the street from this school. I guess this is the school that that's downtown that, because was it guys in that school or was this only all girls school? I can't remember if it was boys coming out of that school or not. But it might be the school that Kanan would have went to or whatever, or that she would have went to. So she see these 3 white girls and stuff. They walking out. So she goes over and says hello to the one in the middle. She was like, hey, what's going on? She was like, oh, hey. So then they looking like, well, how you know this girl or whatever? So she was like, oh, we had sung in this choir thing or whatever like that. And we supposed to be doing this duet or whatever. They was like, oh, okay, well, where you go to school at? So she was like, Jamaica. This girl was like, all the way from the islands? I said, bitch. The girl in the middle was like, Jamaica Queens. Like, Jamaica Queens. So anyway, they go off or whatever. The 2 white girls looking like, what the fuck just happened? Or whatever. We see Uncle Marvin talking to Raquel. And so he was like, was it Uncle Marvin or Uncle Lulu? No, it was Uncle Marvin. He was like, the club is secured. Lou got the club secured or whatever like that. And so he was like, yeah, but the publicist had said something about her dog or whatever. Some white woman and a dog or something like that. She was like, what white woman? I said, oh, God. He was like, she done did something to the goddamn dog. So on the roof where Jukebox and this white chick at, the white chick and Jukebox, they talking and stuff like that. And they was talking about some party or something like that. Did I skip that? Yeah, I sure did, but whatever. We gonna mix it in together. We gonna put the 2 scenes together. She was talking about some party she gotta go to or whatever like that. She don't really want to go to. What's the face was talking about the Jack and Jill parties that they have in the hood or whatever, but she ain't never invited. And then the white chick ends up inviting Jukebox to the party. And so you could tell it was some chemistry there or whatever like that. So later on, we see them sitting on the same rooftop and stuff. And the white girl was telling Jukebox that she was pretty. And so she was just staring at Jukebox. And then she tried to go in for a kiss. And then Jukebox kind of like blocked her. She was like, oh, okay, I understand. So then she just held her hand. And then Jukebox put her hand on top of her hand. So I was like, oh, okay, she don't really want to, go too far. Because the white girl was like, you are shaking. So she was kind of anxious or nervous about it or whatever. We see this deal. So it's drug deals going on the corner of 140. So Kanan like, they's just selling drugs on my mama's corner and stuff like that with no nothing. They don't even care, man. They don't even care. So they pulling out the guns and stuff. Here go Fame, because they ain't Fame and 2 other guys. They ain't got no guns. He was like, what we supposed to do when they start shooting back? Scream at them. I was cracking up. He was like, man, I ain't going around that corner like that. So Kanan was like, all right, y'all sit here. So Kanan and D-Wiz, they put their hoodies on and stuff like that. They go around the corner and start pop, 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 pop. Kanan ends up hitting this guy. So I don't know how many shots the guy took, but he fell down. He was basically dying in the middle of the street, child. So they just standing there. D-Wiz like, he trying to say something. So Kanan, of course, goes over there. The dude touched him on the sweatshirt. So there's blood all on the sweatshirt and stuff. And he was just like, he couldn't say nothing. So he just staring at the man dying and the man staring at him. Fame got to come around the corner, was like, 5-0, 5-0, the police or whatever. So then they get up, start running and stuff. Rock on a date with Symphony. So they talking, they having a good time. He's talking about life. He's telling her about the urban planning and stuff like that. And she, enjoying the date and stuff like that. Uncle Lou come in, go over there to her and was like, Kanan. She was like, all right, I got to go. She gave him some money. He was like, but I asked you what to do. Okay. So she go home. She cussing. She yelling. She like, I gave them corners. You going over there starting some shit you don't even know nothing about. I gave them corners or whatever like that. Uncle Marvin, because Kanan was like, well, why would you get them corners? Uncle Marvin want to know why too. She was like, look, I'm the one running this motherfucker shit or whatever like that. So she silenced him quick. She was like, you going around the corner shooting some boys that I already gave the damn corner up to or whatever like that. Uncle Marvin questioning Jukebox because he like, well, where the hell was you at when all this went down? She was like, I was at choir practice. So Kanan looking at her like, oh, okay, she lying, but whatever. So then Kanan like, well, Mama, I was trying to have your back and stuff like that. I ain't know or whatever. And she was like, because you going to your grandmom's house or something like that. He was like, you always wanted me in this. Otherwise, you would have been sent me to my grandmom's house. You keep talking about something. You want me to go to my grandma's house, but you ain't never sending me there. Am I supposed to be staying or I'm supposed to be going or whatever like that? She was like, look, you can go to your room. So he was like, I'm grown. You can't tell me to go to my room no more. I said, what? So I'm surprised Raquel ain't slap his ass. But then Uncle Marvin, Uncle Lou was like, you got to get rid of that sweatshirt. You got to go burn that shit. Go burn that shit or whatever like that. So then he go upstairs. He take his sweatshirt off, child. He start crying. I said, he shook. Okay, he real shook. Then he go downstairs and go try to talk to his mama. She like, not right now. Because I guess he was trying to apologize. She was like, no, it's too soon for that shit. So she was like, no, go take out the garbage and then go to your room. So then she was like, and I'm taking you to your grandmom's or whatever. So he looking all stupid in the face. He go take out, he go get the garbage. She was like, yeah, maybe you was right. Maybe I should have sent you out there to begin with or whatever. And so he go take out the trash. Now he taking out the trash all slow and stuff. A drive-by ensues. So they shooting up the block and stuff like that. Of course he ducked behind the car. Raquel come out there, pop, pop, pop. She's shooting the car and stuff like that. Child, Kanan okay. She like, all right, you okay? You okay? He like, yeah, I'm all right. I ain't get hit or nothing like that. Of course, the police got to come, inspect and all that other stuff, investigate, whatever. So then we see Omar Epps. Omar Epps. He comes out and he's Michael Howard. So he is like the corrupt cop or whatever like that. And they was like, Kanan was saying like he runs the streets and he think everybody's supposed to be scared of him and yada yada yada. So he gets out the car and was like, yeah, today your baby boy's balls dropped or some shit like that. And he tells Raquel that Kanan got a price on his head and that she need to get out while she still can. She was like, look, I don't know what you're talking about. They just hit up the wrong house or whatever like that. He was like, that's gonna be a story. She was like, yeah, they shot up the wrong house. So they go in or whatever like that. So Uncle Lou, Uncle Marvin, all them come around and stuff like that. And she tell them like, look, they came around shooting and this time guns wasn't pointed in the air or whatever like that. Juke asked Kanan, was he scared? He was like, hell yeah, I was scared before I hit the gun. Some shit like that. She was like, well, I'm glad they missed. He was like, yeah, me too. So then he was like, well, where was you at earlier? She just smiled. He was like, the white girl. And she nodded her head or whatever. So then Uncle Lou tells Raquel that, they looking for Kanan and no prestigious white school going to hide him from these people because, he a target now or whatever like that. So we see Raquel and Unique again. They in the park in that same area where they met the first time. She hands him like a big ass wad of money talking about it's for Buck's family, the dude that Kanan shot. He was like, you think this wad of money gonna stop them from coming? Like, no, like that ain't gonna happen or whatever like that. Like my boys looking at me for answers and stuff like that. And if I don't come back with something big on the table, they gonna start questioning and all this other stuff. So he want all the blocks now, child. I said, Lord have mercy. So she was like, all right, I want you to take the hit off my son. He was like, well, I can debt the bounty and stuff like that, but I can't control, what other people do because Buck got a big following or whatever like that. He got a big family and stuff, and I can't control what they might do or whatever like that. And so she was like, yeah, but just keep my son out of it. So Unique was like, your son was born into this when such and such died or whatever. I can't remember the husband name or whatever like that. So she was like, you don't care about your son or something like that. He was like, well, I ain't pop him out my body and stuff like that. Me and Jerome don't have that connection, but you and your son, y'all got that connection or whatever like that. And distractions make you weak and they make you blink or whatever like that. And so he was like, he whispered in her ear and was like, all these corners are mine or whatever like that. And then he walked away. And so she was like, I see everything. My eyes is wide open or whatever like that. So then she go into Kanan room. He's sleeping. She going in there on some creepy type shit. He ends up waking up because she don't even say nothing, child. He ends up waking up and she tells him to get dressed. So he thinking he going to his grandma's house because that's what she said. But they ends up at this beach or whatever. So he like, I thought you was taking to my grandma's house or whatever. She was like, look, how the test go and don't lie to me. He was like, well, if a lot of them answers is B's, then I did good or whatever. She was like, shh. So then she still shows him the constellation Orion, and she was like, Orion is the hunter, and that's what we are. We are never to be hunted or whatever. And so she pulls out a gun, she gives it to him and tells him to shoot it. He shot the gun. She was like, now that bullet is out there circling the world with your name on it. You gonna be running from it forever. You wanted to be in it, now you in it or whatever. So then she get out her gun and then he got his gun. So then they just start shooting in the water, whatever like that. And so then we hear Kanan saying, well, you know how he was saying, you know how my story ended. Now you know how it started. But the real shit is what happened in between or whatever like that. So, and this is my story. And that's how it went off. I said, this is interesting. I like it. Of course, I like the family dynamic. And Uncle Lou and Uncle Marvin and Raquel, I love her or whatever like that. I'm loving these actresses and actors, and I want to see what Omar Epps got to do, because child, you can just tell he was grimy when he got out the damn car. So I want to see how it's all going to play out. If y'all watch it tonight or if y'all watched it early, y'all let me know how y'all felt about the episode down there in the comments. Will y'all continue to watch it, or will y'all just be like, again, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit me with that thumbs up button along with the share button. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.